Howdy, Ken. Episode 55. I typically ask you a question, but today I'm just going to jump in and just say what the episode is about.
Yeah,
It is
let's do this.
about morality and ethos in affiliate marketing, or more specifically, your morality and your ethos, and the way you present yourself and the way you hold yourself when you do affiliate marketing.
Yeah, and we thought this to be a very important topic to talk about because we position ourselves in a certain light to our audience, and we felt it was important for you to also think about that because the truth about making money online is what we're all about, and we want to provide you with that viewpoint and kind of give you the opportunity to really think about that if you're just starting out, because it's so easy to get lost, really get lost in this world. Even though it's a very small world, it can be a small world. It's so easy to get lost, and you're going to find that out as we kind of unravel what we're talking about here.
So, morality, the distinction between right and wrong. I think it needs to be clear, or I need to make sure that you understand that I'm not here to dictate morality to you. Okay, so don't take this as an episode of me preaching on morality, because we are preaching, but we're not preaching what your morality should be. We're
Yep.
preaching that it boils down. That's how I said boil. It boils down to the fact of you have to determine what is right and wrong for you, and that in turn boils down to what is right and wrong for your audience.
Yeah. And I use this saying all the time, right? It's your business, your choice. That's the beauty of what we do, is that you can make those decisions. You make those decisions every day. But unfortunately, unlike being at work where you can blame it on your coworker or traffic, you're the one that has to pay the price, whatever that may be. You suffer the consequences, or you have to be okay with the results based on, how you choose to run your business. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, because Stone Cold said so.
That's right.
So when you bring that into a concept or an ideology that you stand behind, you develop an ethos, right? So the definition of ethos, or it's a Greek word meaning character, that describes your guiding beliefs or your ideas or your ideals, right? Your philosophy, what you stand for. There's a book behind me actually called Your Stand is Your Brand. For people on the podcast, it's behind me. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, you can see it. It's a really powerful book. It's about not, how to be something. It's who to be. Like, what do you stand for? So in affiliate marketing, we talk about relationships. We've talked about that here on the podcast numerous times. The relationships you build. And this episode, and we talked about this backstage, and we really went deep, and it was a really powerful episode. And we talked about like how to have this episode that is sort of a public episode, and really just sort of stay on track about morality and ethos, was really going down a rabbit hole of what brought us to the conversation. But the idea is, over at Ken Furukawa Marketing, and then now over at Real Review Z, we do these reviews on these products. And I reviewed a product, and it just went against my ethos. It sort of went against what I stand for based upon the training itself, and then the product that they were showing you how to promote. Or they weren't showing you how to promote that product. They were showing you how they promoted the product and made money, but it came to light that that product was actually an illegal product. It was a criminal enterprise.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how deep you're going to go into that.
Yeah, I'm not, that's as deep as I'm going to go.
Okay. But yeah, it to me, and we talked about this backstage, and I'll just kind of bring it to light that for some reason, and you out there, our listeners and our viewers, you may find this as well, is that when you're building an affiliate marketing business, this is a very lonely business model, because yeah, the professor and I, we're talking on camera, we message each other, but we've never physically met. We don't hang out at the local coffee shop to talk about affiliate marketing. But at the end of the day, when we're done with this, I'm turning off the lights, I'm turning off the camera, and I hit on my computer keyboard, and I'm going to do what I do. And I think what it does is it isolates you and puts you in your own kind of bubble, which is the reason why, to me, relationships are so important. You gotta build relationships with marketers that kind of share the same values that you do, because it really helps. It really, really, really helps. So I think it's important to understand that when you're building this business, that it can be easy to succumb to the trappings of what you can get, what you can achieve. And I think that people easily get swayed into looking at things that are beyond what they normally would look at. And Professor and I, professionals, we had corporate experience. He has military experience, traveled the world. We're rational people. But for some reason, you come into this world, and most people come into this world because, and it's called the make money online niche, because it's all about making money online. So people really focus on that, and they take it to the thousandth percent. And that's what their focus is I got to make money online. I got to make money online. Much to, they kind of pushed other things to the back. And I think that's what we really want to talk about today, is that please consider that. Please consider, why you're doing this, how you want to do it. Because at the end of the day, we're not here to preach. We're just gonna put this out there, that concept, this topic out there, so that you can sit down when you're reading your morning paper and having a cup of coffee, think about it. Just think about it and kind of envision how you see your business developing and growing over the years. Because we all want to do this for a long time. I don't want to give this up. I'm not giving this up. Heck no. All right. I'm just going to keep going. But there's a certain way that we've been doing it that has worked for us. Right. So there's trade-offs with everything.
So we talked about morality, we talked about ethos. And for me, that goes into just the golden rule, which is treat people the way you want to be treated. I mean, that's simply what it boils down to.
Yeah.
So you, as an affiliate marketer, if you're pitching a product, you're promoting a product, is it a product that you would buy and that you would use? Now, again, notice I said, is it something you would buy or you would use? I'm not telling you have to buy it. I'm not telling you have to use it, but you have to do your homework and you have to look at the product, whether it doesn't matter what niche it is, whether it's a physical product or an information training product or it doesn't matter. If you wouldn't use the service or the product, then why in the world would you recommend it to your audience? If you do, then your audience isn't going to stick with you very long.
Yeah. It's the whole, picture of the angel and the devil, right? They're kind of whispering in your ear. And I think that's the reason why too. And we use this analogy in backstage, is you're sitting at a table and somebody just drops this big pile of money on the table saying, hey, if you promote this is what you're going to get. Whereas, and the product may be something you've never heard of. You're not sure if it works or not, but you see that big pile of money. And that's when I think sometimes when money gets into the equation, and it's important, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that money's not important. It is important. But I think a lot of times people are willing to kind of loosen things a little bit in order to, grab that, right? To get a big chunk out of it. Whereas someone says, hey, they take maybe 3/4 of it away and they say, if you promote this product, this is what you're going to get. Most people are going to look at that and they're going to be like, wow, well, I got a mortgage to pay. I got dreams of sipping a Mai Tai on the beach while working on my, my Apple laptop, which I don't know why anyone would do anyway. I got all these dreams and hopes. Well, I got to bend a little. I got to bend a little in order to get that. And I think for me, in my personal opinion, that's kind of a dangerous kind of slippery slope, right? Because once you get a taste of that, then it's like, oh, okay, I think it's okay. It's okay. But, we talk about this all the time on the podcast, is that you're dealing with real people on the other side. Real people. They're not subscribers. They're not followers. And we refer to those terms a lot, but they're real people, human beings with hopes, dreams. They're listening to you. They're following you because of who you are. And I think what the professor is saying is that, that's the kind of thing that you got to understand, is that the relationship part is so important. Do you want somebody to buy something so you can get the money now? Or do you want to build a relationship where they're coming back, where they're actually a customer, repeat customer that comes back over and over again?
I think a lot of that too is like you said, you're online. I'm going to use air quotes for those on the podcast. You're online, so it doesn't feel real. Bring it back to real life. So you're working at a job, you're making $20 an hour, and somebody walks in and says, "Man, I got the perfect job for you. Pays $100 an hour, and it's super simple." And you're like, "Hot diggity dog," right? And you're like, "I made it." And you show up the first day of the job, and they're like, "All you have to do is hand out these samples of crack."
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, your morality and your ethos has to kick in. Yeah. So you're an affiliate marketer, especially, I should say, especially in the make money online space, where you deal in information products, and you look at it and you go, you know what? This doesn't hurt anybody. I'm just selling information. They're going to learn something for sure, right? They're going to get some information out of this. They're going to get one or two golden nuggets. It's worth the money. And if they pick up a couple of the upsells, that's on them. I didn't tell them to pick up the upsell. I didn't tell them to buy that. They made their own decision, right? And I reap the rewards.
Yeah. And I think that's like always it's like a tightrope, right? That you're walking. Because when I look at like our journeys and our paths and, what we stand for, you and I can filter through, the BS. We can filter through it rather quickly. Whereas most other people who are new, it's kind of like that whole, they step off the bus trying to become the next Hollywood star, right? Or a musical star. They're naive. They don't know, what's good and what's bad. All they see is what's on the sales page, right? And what you tell them. And I think that's where, like, for us, we can draw that line. We know where to draw the line. Whereas some people, they don't. They read it and they see it, and instantly they get hooked in. And a lot of it is copywriting. A lot of it is, income claims, whether they be true or not. They get pulled into it, and I think that's the part that for me it doesn't sit well. And I know for the professor it doesn't sit well either. We don't like seeing that kind of stuff. But that's how people run their businesses. And at the end of the day, the person at the other end, they're the ones who are clicking on the buy button. They're the ones who are entering in their credit card information. And so that's one of the reasons, it's shameless plug. That's one of the reasons why you got to watch, Real Reviews with a Z and, Ken Furukawa Marketing, because for us, it's about telling the truth. What is this product about? How are you going to make money using this product? What's good about it? What's bad about it? And we give our final opinions. I give my final opinion, and it's up to you to decide whether or not you want to do it or not. But most people are so in this fever pitch moment of, I got to get it because it's the secret. It's the latest secret. They said it was a secret, never seen before. And if I can get it quickly right now and act fast, I get that fast action bonus, which is worth about $3,000 or $4,000, and I'm on easy street. And it's just like, for some reason, I don't know what it is. It's maybe it's something in the brain where when that button is triggered, people just they lose all sense of focus and what the reason is of going through the products. I don't know what it is. Maybe you have some other explanation for it.
Well, I mean, we talked about that here on the podcast, marketing versus manipulation, and just the idea of marketing itself. You're tapping in and you're trying to, when you write a sales page, you're trying to be effectively, you're trying to make sure that you can answer all the objections, but you're also tapping into that emotional side, right? And you're hitting those triggers where people, like you said, get it now, whether it's fake or false scarcity aside, the fact of, if you buy it right now, and that's why launches work, that's why sales work. I mean, we're coming up in Q4 right now with the holidays. There's going to be sales galore.
Yeah.
But that at the end, right after all the holidays are over, most of the junk that you buy, or stuff that you buy, sorry, just, most things that you buy, that at the end of the year, at the new year, those models, those, those styles of clothes, that whatever, the excess, the bulk is going to be at the same price and or cheaper.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop you from getting into that frenzy, right? It's the same thing. That's why we do launches. That's why we build funnels and, have people, once they have their credit card out, keep buying.
Yeah.
So in the world of marketing, I get that and I understand that. But again, it goes back to your ethos and the morality, where you draw the line between right and wrong. If you 100% go blind copy and you sell the secret hard, the only thing that you're doing is selling the secret.
Mm-hmm.
Versus using, if you had real skill, telling people up front, this is going to be work.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we're going to work at. This is how long it's going to take. But I'm going to get you there faster, quicker, and I'm going to be able to help you get over the hurdles when you pick up this product. Specifically talking about like stuff I sell, like a training product, or a piece of content that comes with PLR or white label or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the angle that I take, right? I don't blow it up into this ungodly, or out of unsightly proportion where it's like you're going to make $200,000 in a year, or you're going to make in 2 seconds, push a button, 3-step process, right? This is all BS. These are things that are BS. 10-minute abs, 8-minute abs, 6-minute abs, 7-minute abs, whatever, right? Step into my office. I mean, like you're rational about it until you're not, because you want it so bad.
Yeah. And I think that's a part, that's a hard part for the professor and me is that, we can hop on this podcast and talk about the truth till the cows come home. But it's up to you guys to really, start, absorbing it and start understanding that, yeah, you know what, it is important. This is a real business, guys and gals. This is a real business. And, you've got to take it seriously. And if you're putting your name out there and you're putting your likeness out there, how do you want to be perceived, right? Do you want to be perceived as someone that provides true value, and because you do all the time, that people who may not know you like you or trust you, as soon as they see your face, if they've heard of you and they heard great things about you, do you want to be like that, where people are like, wow, that's a professor, man. Yeah, he puts out some good stuff. He's truthful and honest. And yeah, you know what? To me, if I honestly, in the beginning, if somebody came to me and told me this is what it is, it's gonna be hard work, I would have been like, no way, no way, no way. From what I've been seeing, but now I'm like, yeah, that is it is hard work. It is it's simple, but it's not easy. And the cruel irony, and I've said this many times, is that if you take all the times where you've tried to shortcut the process, and I'm not talking about professor, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about you guys out there, the viewers, and because the professor and I, we've shortcut nothing. In fact, we waste a lot of time and money. But if you've taken all the time and money that you've wasted chasing after the shortcut or the hack or that little known secret, and you've actually applied, and I'm not talking about consuming the content, because by the way, the affiliating course is really good. And I'm not saying it because, the professor and I are in this podcast. It's a really good course. He's opening up his business to you guys. He's showing you everything that he's done. But if you've literally applied the things that you learn and just implement it, you would be making money right now. The chances are you would have some kind of commission. Or would you be making 10 grand in a month? Who knows? Depends on how hard you work, right? But that's the truth. You gotta understand that. And I think that's where the whole morality and ethos comes in, is that I think sometimes the money just really blinds people from their own values, before they even start. Like, you get sucked in and you just kind of lose all sense of like time, and you just lose it, right? I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, it's easy, right? It's easy to be like, okay, I'll just do it this once, right?
Yeah.
It's like when you're a kid, right?
Yeah.
You're like, mom told me I could have two cookies, but they're all just right here and nobody's around. Yeah. So I'll just have another one. Nobody will know.
Yeah.
You have to make that decision. So we talked about this backstage, and then backstage, really, we went deep in this and we just sort of just talked it through. But the concept and the idea, our morality and our ethos obviously come to the forefront when we do the podcast. and or we do our YouTube channels because that's us. That's us, our brand. It's our face, right?
Yeah.
It's our name, you know. But take that to if you're running paid traffic, affiliate marketing, and you're like, okay, I'm going to run paid traffic. I'm going to do pay per click. I'm going to do, display ads, whatever. I'm not going to show my face. I'm just creating a brand. And to find a product, what do I need? I need to go to ClickBank and I need to sort on, what am I sorting on? EPCs, right?
Mhm.
Earnings per click, got to be high, got to be good, right? Yep. Refund rate, got to be low, got to be low, got to be low. All right. Bingo, bongo, boingo. I found exactly what I'm looking for. Did I miss something? Well,
Yeah.
I mean, this is where I'm speaking to the audience.
Yeah.
Did I miss something? Right? Ken's going to be like, "Yep." So, did I miss something? Is the product good? Does the product work? Does it do what it says on the tin?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's the reason why we have our channels and Real Reviews with a Z and Ken Furukawa Marketing, because we jump into it. We lots of times we purchase that front end product so that you guys don't have to. Don't fall into the trap of, I mean, the scarcity is always going to be there with a launch, right? Because people are going to be emailing you, they're going to be pestering you. Check it out, check it out, check it out, check out my bonus, check it out, right? That's all they're going to do. But you know what? After the launch is over, it's still going to be the same price. So take your time, take your time going through it, and just get a good sampling of reviews. Get the ones that say no BS on them, hint, or the ones that say real reviews on them, versus other ones that you may see out there, and just compare notes. Some of these videos are only like 8 minutes long. It doesn't take you that long to get through an 8-minute video. You can skip through it and just see if people are going in there and talking about what's inside and showing you a true review. That's a true review of a product, is when you go inside and you show them, maybe even talk about the strategy. Maybe you don't go through the menu options, but they show you and they talk about the strategy and what their opinion is on it. Because we've bought many products before, many products, and the professors bought a lot of high ticket products as well, and we've gone through all of them. So when it comes to providing you with perspective, you've come to the right place. Like, we're going to give you perspective, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide, do I believe them or do I not believe them? Am I still going to buy it or am I not going to buy it? So, but at the end of the day, we, turn off the camera and turn off our computers and go home, and we go to bed at night knowing full well that we did what we could, and that's what I like. Right? I did what I could to try and get the message out and be honest and truthful, about products that I've reviewed. That's it.
The truth about making money online, specifically as an affiliate, is no different than making money anywhere, doing anything online, offline is the same. You establish your ethos, which is your character. It's what you stand for. It's what you believe is right and wrong. Guess what, folks? There's going to be plenty of people on both sides of that. There's going to be plenty of people that are going to be on the side of what you believe is right and what you believe is wrong, no matter how extreme you take it.
Mm-hmm.
It does not matter. It is up to you to determine. I'm not going to tell you one way or the other of how to live your life or to handle yourself or how to establish your own ethos. I make those calls based upon, like Ken was talking about. It's my opinion. It's my ethos. It's what I believe is right and wrong. I'm no white knight. I'm definitely no saint. And I've gone one way or the other in the real world and online. In my promotions and things that I've recommended, I've gone back and I've looked at it and I said, that wasn't really a great call.
Yeah.
Then I do my best to try to do better the next time that I recommend a product, if it's skirting, right, that morality line that I've drawn, or it goes against my ethos and the fact that it just isn't right. It's not where I want it to be. Then I'm not going to recommend it, because guess what? I'm human too. And yeah, I mean, I need big fat commissions just like everybody else, right? I got to keep the lights on here in the office.
Yeah.
That's the business I'm in.
Yeah. And that's the challenge, right? It's like driving your car, right? Everyone drives over the speed limit. I'm going to say everyone, with an exception of, like, my wife and a few other people that I know, but or crossing the street and without being a crossover. Everyone kind of takes it upon themselves to understand when they think it's okay to bend their morality and do things a different way. But yeah, at the end of the day, we're not here to really preach to anybody, and it may seem like we are, but we want people. No matter what we do, everyone's going to think we're preaching anyway. So to me, it's we want it to be out there where people just at least think about it. Just think about it. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but we want you to at least think about it, what you're doing. Is
Yeah.
it in a benefit? If you think long term, is it beneficial for you long term? If it's not, delay that gratification, because as you start slowly building your brand, and your brand is your stand, right? You start building that up, and you're going to build something that's going to be far greater than the fast commissions that you think you're going to be getting. It's that balancing act that you gotta weigh. I think that's the tough part for a lot of people, including myself.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, I look inside of a product, specifically like an information product. I look inside a product and I'm like, you're going to learn something from this product.
Yeah.
You should buy it. But, right. And there lies the problem. But there's going to be a but. There's always a but.
Yeah.
Right. It's like always, there's always something that's going to be like, this isn't perfect, because nothing is perfect.
Yeah.
And you're going to make mistakes. I'll go back to the beginning when I talked about that product I reviewed. It wasn't about the fact that the guy made a mistake. It was that the mistake had been made. He used it as a headline to pitch his training. And then inside the training, he never acknowledged the fact that it was a actual criminal enterprise that had been charged by the US government.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. Your ethos, your character, your morality, you decide where it lays, you decide what it is. So if, as long as you're honest and upfront at the beginning, if you sold me a product and you were like, I'm going to show you exactly how I made X amount of dollars, but it wasn't really legal, that's a different headline than check out how I made $200,000 in 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And that's I guess the whole marketing and manipulation, side of it, right? And if you guys haven't listened or watched that episode, you should. It's a really good one. It's something that you're going to face all the time, and you got to just make your stand. That's the bottom line, is you make your stand. We're not here to tell you what to do. Your business, your choice. But you have to be willing to own up to your mistakes. You have to be willing to look in the mirror and say, "Man, that wasn't such a good thing. I'm not going to do that anymore." And some people do, and some people don't. Some people will stop and think, "Gosh, you know what? I've been so caught up in trying to make money and pay for the things that I need or want, that I never really stopped to think about the fact that there are other people on the side." And I think it's every once in a while, it's just good to sit down and think, who are these people? Who are they? And there's many different faces out there. And I think once you start thinking about that, then it kind of puts everything in a whole new perspective, that you're responsible in essence for these people. So the way that you act, the way that you carry yourself, the way you treat them, there's going to be pluses and minuses to that. And I think you have to be okay with that at the end of the day.
You have to establish your ethos. You have to draw the line, right? The morality line has to be drawn. You have to do it yourself. Nobody can do it for you. If you're okay and you're comfortable with whichever side you're on, that's you. That's where you're at. Don't apologize for it. Go forward. Do what you need to do, right? Just don't expect, to work with certain people that have drawn the line at a different point, have a different ethos, believe a different way. But guess what? There's room for all of us. So, as an affiliate marketer, and the truth about making money online is it's just something that you have to establish. You have to establish an ethos. You have to decide what's right or wrong for you. And that's the message that you want to give to your audience, and just stand behind it and go forth and make money online. earn those big fat commissions, live long and prosper. And with that, if Ken doesn't have anything else to preach at you about today, we'll talk to you later.